Howdy, folks. How's everybody doing tonight? Dave C., good to see you. Troy Pritchard, Scott, and all the rest that are starting to type. Good evening, and let me introduce my cohort in crime here, Mr. Russ Meadows. Good evening, Rusty.
Good evening. How you doing?
Oakley Dokley, how's it going?
It couldn't be better.
That's
having fun in the cold weather.
Excellent. Today we're going to have our little show and tell. Yeah, Dennis. Hang on a second. Good evening, by the way, Kevin from Philadelphia. Yeah, Dennis says he's one tired FedEx Express courier. Excuse me, I got a little cough today. Don't know how I woke up with it this morning. And
hello, Chris, and Marcello is here. Paul Stewart just joined us.
Good evening, Chris. Good evening, Marcello. And good evening, Paul. Everybody on the today we're going to have a nice little show and tell here. We've got 2 or 3 people that have sent in some stuff, and if you want to send in some stuff by the end of the show, go ahead and send it to Javi Unboxed. Yeah, let me just put that in the Javi Unboxed at gmail.com is my email address for the show. So go ahead and send it there if you wish, and I'll whatever it is, we'll look at it. So there's Michael. How's it going, Mike? Mr. Blyer. And let's see, Mike, Kevin, Russ, and Rob Schuster have sent me stuff. Possibly more of you. Shout if you. Oh, and Chris sent me stuff also. So
yeah,
happy to show it all off. Show off your projects there. So let's see. Let's go ahead and jump into it here. By the way, it's also a Q&A session. So if anybody has any questions for me, whether it's CNC, whether it's construction, whether it's general information, and, how to get a girl, I don't know. Maybe you're a teenager watching the show for all I know. Like I know anymore. I forgot. We've been married 20-something years. I know. I knew then.
Yeah.
So I did something right.
Yeah, I just had my 23rd yesterday.
And like you, Russ, I married up.
Well, my wife tells me I married up.
Well, I believe her then.
She said she's always right too.
Yep. Yeah, mine doesn't tell me anything, but I know better. Mine doesn't tell me that, you know. So anyway, let's see here. 60 hours. That's got to be that's definitely a rough run for FedEx. Hey, it's a busy time. I used to work at your competitor there. I mean, well, we're talking 37 years ago. When I was 18, I did the night shift at UPS, and it's funny. I got hired in August, and I want to say in October or the beginning of November, what they do is I don't know if FedEx works the same way, but with UPS, you're tenured if you get 90 days with UPS. And I just made the 90 days 1 week before they, at a certain point, like end of October, they cut off. They say, okay, now the prime time doesn't count for your 90 days. Mm-hmm. So basically, until you're tenured, you're not in the union, you're not permanent, you're still temporary, and they can fire you without cause at any time. They can just drop it. Have a nice day. Well, I made it, and then during the busy season, it was brutal. It was brutal. But I went from the first part was the load, the unload. The unload, those were brutal days. You got to unload 1,200 packages an hour. That's a package every 2 seconds. And what you got to do is that includes the opening and the closing of the truck. You basically got to open the truck, move the conveyor belt out, And those conveyor belts, it's actually not a conveyor belt, it's the rollers. The rollers lead to the conveyor belt, and then that's okay. And your goal is basically they tell you exactly how to grab it. You grab it by the corners, you rotate every single package, and you got half a second to do each one. Nobody makes those numbers. Everybody's average is about 800 to 900, which is not bad, figuring 3/4 of a second. Anyways, you rotate it on the opposite corners until the label's up. Label has to be up. Vroom, drop it on the roller, push it down, drop it, and the whole way. And then I'm veering off, but it's an interesting story. And then comes the load. So first was the unload. The unload, it's brutal. You're grunts. And I told my supervisor, listen, I want more than this. Okay, we'll have you on the load. Okay. So I got on the load. And the load is much easier because you have to go to 800 packages an hour. So that's a package every 3/4 of a second. So you got to pick them up off the thing and stack them. But at the same time, they show you how to make layers and layers and layers and layers. Well, every old timer that's been there for loading for a long time shows all the rookies how to do it when they're behind. Because sometimes you get behind, because I'm really good at Tetris, and this thing was sometimes it's just impossible. Sometimes they fall over. Well, here's what you do. You get a bunch of packages and you make like 3 or 4 feet in front. You make, because when it starts slowing down, as soon as a supervisor leaves, because they make their rounds and then they come by, oh, you're doing bad, you're doing bad, you're doing bad. And then they leave. Okay, you're a little faster, you're slowing us down. That's all they say, whether you're going fast or not. Well, anyway, as soon as the supervisor leaves, you know you got a certain amount of time. So here's what you do. And they think it's them coming in that's making you faster, when in reality, here's what happens. Soon as they leave, you build a wall, a beautiful wall, at least half of it, in front of a bunch of packages. All right. And then super fast, you just throw the packages over the wall. You don't care. Just because now you're blowing by them at like 4 packages a second. Boom, 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 boom. Sometimes you get pissed off, you kick them, but I didn't do that. The other guys, some of them
It's the reason they always have cracked up packages.
Oh man. And then so after it's piled up, then you finish your nice neat wall. Next time the supervisor comes by, you're ahead and there's a beautiful wall. Occasionally there'll be a supervisor that pushes on the wall. You don't like. Well, that's why you got to make sure to stack them all up. Don't just make a nice neat facade with nothing. But anyway, here's the problem. Here's the problem, guys. When you're good and you say, hey, I want to be more than this. Okay, great, wonderful. Yeah. I'll put you on the maps. And that was my next move up. But every so often, whether you're on the sort, it's called the sort, or whether you're on loading, there is a need because they're too slow in the unload, or some guy's out, and they'll pull you from one of them. Not from once I got to the sort, they don't pull me because I studied all the maps and I'm much more valuable to them. $2 an hour more valuable. But when you're loading, every now and then they'll pull you and they'll take you back to the unload. That's when you get pissed off because somebody else in some other hub did exactly what you did. You're trying to unload packages in a nice, neat thing, and all of a sudden you come upon a pile of packages. They go, oh, crap. and they're all on the floor. You got to bend down a lot. So, yeah, it gets to be karma. What comes around goes around. I'm a big believer in do unto others. Anyway.
Ed Newman just joined us.
Ed, good to see you. Let's see, where's Ed? There's Ed. Hey. So,
looks like Mike is looking for a hookup.
Well, we'll see what we can do, Mike. Well, let's see. Depending on your age, okay, here's the deal. Here's a trick. All right. If you're not too picky
Oh, let's stop right there.
Not too picky. And you're over, say, 45 years old. All right. 45, hot. Over 55, pretty, you're on the market. Over 65, average. Go over to the Villages in Florida, the world's largest retirement community, and the now, okay, there's a reputation that it's a false reputation about the largest population of STD or the biggest. That's not true. That was actually a publicity stunt to bring more people in. Believe it or not, STD is a selling point.
Wow.
To bring people into the community because they were swingers, and hey, old people, they'll wear protection, they'll take their Viagra, and they'll have sex all day long. Anyway, well, I don't know.
Not speaking from personal experience.
Not from personal experience. Well, anyway, so I see it all the time when I go by the Villages and stuff. You see guys, you see women winking at you and striking up conversations. You want an easy. I don't want to say an easy get, but let's just say everybody there is very, very friendly. And some people are just looking to swing, looking to, I mean, they've lived their lives. All they want is a little company, and temporary at that, because they're set in their ways. So nobody's going to last for too much. And others are looking for that one in a million that,
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, if you're not too choosy, there's an easy way to go around it. It's basically the club scene for the older folks.
There you go, Mike.
So now you know, Mike. And the thing is, it's a 55 and older community. So most everybody there there's very few 55 to 60-year-olds. Everybody's pretty much above 60. But, it's so funny because I told my mom, my mom's 77. And when I told her that I was moving up to that general area near the Villages, and she said, "Oh my God, that's a bunch of old people." And I'm thinking to myself, Mom, I really hate to break this to you, but you are older than 95% of those old people. Because they're not a bunch of 90-year-olds living. These people are in rocket. There's 3-4 communities that have squares, and they're square dancing. They're doing jazzercise, and they're doing God knows how many different activities. They're all active. I mean, more active than certainly than my parents, who were sitting around watching TV all day long. My mom QVC, and my dad the History Channel, which is typical of most old people. Yet they're the ones calling the others old. That's funny. I get a kick out of that. But anyway,
Mako Shark just joined us.
Onto the thing here. Let's see here. So, okay, still no progress on the machine, but cleaning and organizing the garage. Well, that's progress. At one time, I used to get frustrated. I got to tell you, Troy, I used to get frustrated because I felt like I spent my whole life, and I still do, my whole life moving stuff from one place to another. And in the beginning, it felt like I was accomplishing something. But there came a time in my life, and it was very, very, I was panic-ridden and anxious-ridden and anxiety-ridden, where I felt like I wasn't accomplishing anything because all I was doing was moving stuff back. You do that enough times, and all of a sudden you're going to feel, I don't want to use the word worthless, but you're going to feel very, very close to that. And it did tend to cause stress for me. And, and then I went whole hog cold. I mean, I did a 180. All of a sudden I was, active and doing everything and stuff. And then the clutter was building. But I felt if I even touched anything, I'm going backwards. So I didn't do that. And this is where I go back to my saying that I say on many shows: balance. It's all about balance. I mean, there are times when I just have to spend a day, even a week, completely cleaning out. I mean, look, I got a fair amount of progress. I mean, you guys can't see, believe me, a fair amount of progress. There's over here, the only stacks left are empty boxes, and everything else has been cleaned up. I got rid of 5 stacks of boxes. So, making progress. I can walk through the place. My head is a lot lighter and stuff. So never underestimate the power of cleaning and organizing. And it's always fun. And when you're retired, hey, that's entertainment for me. I mean, I swear that's my dream. I guess my dream retirement is working around, maintaining the property. Makes me feel like work, and it is work. Maybe building something, out on the property, but really building, toying around with wood and building stuff. That's right. Cleaning and organizing, and cleaning and organizing, and cleaning and organizing more and more, because it's busy work, but it makes it's like playing solitaire. It makes you feel, even though it's really not very productive, it is. Psychologically. And then the big one is making jigs. I like making. You want to build stuff, build tools for yourself. It's like, I don't know. I was trying to, not to be chauvinistic, but I was trying to compare men making tools with tools to something to do with shoes or women's shoes. I know that's a stereotype and it's very chauvinistic. I don't want letters, but particularly when there are a lot of women builders out there who can build circles around me. But
before you finish that, Mike said he's 75 and he's over the hill, but he fits right in.
75, perfect. Go over there and get yourself laid.
Bruce and Dave joined us.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah. Hey, Mako, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, over the hill. Yeah, the hill. What is it? The hill's at 3750. People change that hill all the time. So, Evening, Bruce. How's it going? Evening, David. Good to see you. All right. So anyway, making tools. I was trying to see how I can relate that, because on the one hand, I find it very therapeutic and very advantageous, productive to build a tool with my tools, whether it's building your CNC or whether it's building a sliding the table saw jig for table sled. Yeah.
I still ain't got one of those. I need to build me one.
Well, I don't have space. If not, I'd finish building one. I built 1 or 2, slapped together pieces of garbage, but I'm going to build a real nice one when I get up there. I've got a whole list of projects, and I'm starting as soon as I get the CO for that place. But anyway, so that's a big portion. But I'm thinking to myself, if I were to look at it from a non-tool person's point of view, I won't say woman, I won't say, because there's a lot of people out there that don't do tools. A non-tool person's point of view, it doesn't seem very productive to them to build a tool with a tool. It's kind of like, in other words, what I'm getting at is the only reason to have tools is to build more tools. So if it's kind of a circular argument. If you didn't have tools, you wouldn't have to make more tools, right? So then they're fine not having any tools. That's their mentality. Now, obviously, tools are for a lot more. I like making furniture. I like making novelties, knickknacks, gifts for friends and stuff that they're very, very proud of. Customize. And this is the part where a lot of people see the value of tool people, makers, whatever you want to call woodworkers. The higher end, or we are a very practical bunch. Most of us, we work with our hands. It's raw, and we think of it as, most woodworkers don't many are artisans, but most are, you want to build a toy horse? Okay, I'll build you a toy horse. It costs me, $2 in wood. That's what it's worth. And on their side is, we would like for you to build us a toy horse for $500, and then they'll display it on their shelf, and it'll be all beautiful and Browood, and there's the other extreme,
Mm-hmm.
and so I've always had a difficult time with that back and forth with the different. Up until I owned a business, I was a very practical minded person, and I never valued anything I did, because for me, the value of something was the raw materials, nothing more. Later, I was taught to include my time. So then the value became the raw materials and my time. Okay, that's fine. Then I learned about what people will pay for stuff, particularly with like painting, for instance, painting houses. I always refer to that because, well, that's what I do. Is you could be the guy that charges $500 because that's what you can make $100, which is not even what your time is worth, and spend $400 in paint and paint an entire house. Or you can be a normal bottom line painter, and it costs me, it's 3 days work, it's $100 a day for me, and then there's $400, and you can charge $7. Or you can go, well, you know what? I'd like to make a little profit on it, so I'm going to put a certain amount of money. So I'm going to charge $1,000 because somebody's willing to pay that. So there's the next level up. Or you can be like me. Look, I'm going to go for the high-end homes. I'm going to dress professionally. Not like you see me here. It's all white and stuff with the logos and everything. I'm going to treat people with respect. I'm going to give them excellent guarantees. I'm painting high-end homes, which means a higher risk. I've got a full-blown license. I've got insurance. Which is all overhead. I got to pay people their wages. So there's even more overhead and stuff. So I figure when it costs that one painter $400, and that's his entire cost, it'll probably cost me, $1,200 to $1,500, including all the overhead. That's my cost, but I'm not going to charge $200 more. I'm charging $6,000-$7,000.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? The type of clientele, word of mouth, tells them that I'm a professional and worth even more than $6,000. I'm a high-end professional painter. I will come back when if you. I basically tell them, listen, if after you move, you've got some scuff marks, I'll come back once and knock out all the scuff marks for you. Because that's the one thing I'm not getting taken advantage of. Professional or not, generous or not, there's two things I do. One is the punch list. If it's not on the punch list and you call me back later, I will charge you an hourly rate. Not a problem. I will be happy to do it, but I will be charging you for that. And two, I'll give you that freebie that once, but that's it. So anyway, that's my philosophy on work and pricing, and it's something that I've always had an issue with when I was younger. And there's a lot of people, I know a lot of you out there, you've lived your whole lives working for someone else, and then now you're getting into making some little extra money on yourself. Look, if it's for a friend or a favor or something, by all means, you don't have to charge anything, maybe even only the material cost. But if you're going to be treating this as a job, right, not as a business. A business for me is a completely different definition. A business is something that you set up, and once it's set up, you can duplicate it and it can run by itself, and it doesn't need you there except to manage it. Mm-hmm. So if you're the guy working and doing it all, you can call it a business, and the SBA will call it a business, but it's not a real business in my definition. But it is a job, and it's a very good job. It's a sole proprietorship, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are shooting for that, value your time, value your craft, and and never discount, never discount. You discount once, people are going to want it always. Let's get to the. Let me see. Any messages out there, Russ? While I look up the.
We have a question there from Mike before Dwight Bennett showed up.
Okay, you can't relate the labels to the VFD connections. Okay, do you have a My Sweetie VFD? Because the FOR and the DCM, those are on most VFDs. They're labeled FOR and DCM. FOR is forward. REV is reverse. You don't want your spindle to spin backwards, so that one's not used. So if you set and that's going to be up to your manual. I can't help you with that. If you set your manual, according to your manual, if you set the spindle for externally switched, and again, it comes in different nomenclature for depending on the manual. My VFD from My Sweetie, which is a Huang Yang VFD.
Yeah.
Okay? Good evening, Dwight from Indy, and you're not late. We were just jabbering. I was just jabbering away at the random stuff. So we're gonna show the pictures in a second. So the FOR and the DCM in my spindle, when I have it set up for an external on-off, if you short the FOR and DCM pins, it turns on. You open it, it turns off. It's that simple. That's what those two are on the spindle cable. That's what my Javi box will trigger. It's nothing more than a relay switch between FOR and DCM. The other two wires are ACM, and sometimes it's labeled VI, sometimes it's labeled VR. You have to check with your manual. And again, it's all in the settings of your VFD. If you don't switch the settings of your VFD, the VFD thinks it's just all local, and you're going to have to, it's still the local control, the local speed control. You have to set it for external speed control, and then what happens is the ACM is the ground or the common, and I hate saying ground because it's not really ground, it's common, and the VI is the 0 to 10 volts. And again, you have to set your spindle, your VFD, for 0 to 10 volts, because I believe there's an option to do 0 to 5 volts as well. So the Javi box will produce 0 to 10 volts on that VI labeled one connector, and the other one, and relative to the common. So if you put a meter in between this one and this one, it will be 0 to 5, 0 to 10. They vary a little bit, and it gets really complicated to adjust them because it's settings in Mach 3. But usually I test them all, and they're all there. And so anyway, the thing you got to concern yourself with is read your manual and find out which two wires will control the speed, which two wires and which two settings do you need to set so you can control the speed through those two wires with 0 to 10 volts. And secondly, which two wires do you need to have so if you short them together, it'll activate the spindle. So one is turning it on and off, the other is the speed. You have to have both because if you set it and you have 0 volts on one, and the other one turns it on, you're going to turn it on and it's not going to run. If you have 10 volts on the speed, but you don't have it turned on, it's not going to run either. So that's, I hope that helps. I hope that helps. I mean, I build the boxes and help you as much as I can, but unless you have the identical setup that I have, then it's difficult for me to help you any further, because there's a lot. Yeah, it's, hang on a second. It's Huan Yuan is the name of the. That's the name, by the way, of the Huan Yuan. I'm pretty sure that's it. I can't see the name on this thing, but that's roughly what they are, or maybe there's a G in there somewhere. But anyway, all right. So here we go. Let's let me start looking for those. Not looking. I have them here. I just gotta pull them out. Okay, so let's see here. I've got a whole bunch of JPEG images. By the way, folks, I apologize if a lot of these images are going to be, a lot of these may be repeated because, because sometimes it's just a mess transferring it over. So forgive me if that's the case. But here we go. I'm just opening them in the order that that I got them here, rather than whatever order. Just want to make sure that. Okay, so first one here. Let me share the screen here.
Oh, Mike said Huang Yang by VI. So
that's it. Perfect. Yeah. Yep. That's it. VI. And again, there are some settings. I may have listed them in the FAQs. I'm pretty sure I did. It's been so long ago since I've looked into that. So I may have updated them. Told you exactly which PDF set where, but. So take a look in the FAQs on javi.com/FAQ. Okay, let's see here. Share screen. And and let's take a look at this. Okay, so here's Mike. Speaking of Mike Blyer's setup there. He's got his. He sent a picture of his beautiful hobby box and his stuff.
By the way, folks, this is the winner.
Yeah.
The hobby
box. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't win anything, but it's
no concept. You don't win anything, but Mike
so favorite
because he includes the hobby box in the picture. Yeah, I like that. That's a great philosophy, Russ.
Yeah.
Let's
see for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, I'm on here. Okay, so and the next one is I want to say Kevin Wilkerson. Again, a few of these are. I'm sorry if it's from somebody else. But here's one. He's got a nice little Chinese CNC here. Or little. I like the. It looks pretty solid. It's small, but pretty solid. Let's see what else we got. And there it is. Up on the top is the Huang Yang. Huang Yang controller there and stuff. So
it's not Kevin's.
Oh, it's not Kevin's. Who else sent me pictures? Let's see. It wasn't Mike. It was Kevin. No, Rob. It's not Rob's. Oh, I'll figure it out. Oh, Chris. It might be Chris Copenhall's. possibly. Because I know he's the other one who. And there's the. Guess he's got his controller down here in this nice big box here and stuff. And I like the enclosure that he put here to protect the sawdust from just flying all over the place and stuff.
Yeah.
And if it's that small, it's handy. It'll still all the small dust will fall up here, but this does a very good job of clearing out a lot of the dust there. Yeah, that helps quite a bit. Now, personally,
not Chinese. It's all homemade.
It's all homemade. Ah, sweet, nice,
Yeah.
even better. Sorry, Chris. Yeah, I don't know. It's the thing is, all the Chinese ones they're small and they're made out of aluminum. That's the only thing I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but come to think of it, the Chinese ones, all they are is just 2 bars. They don't have any solid aluminum like Chris has here. So the one thing that I noticed is, let me see something here. This is, hang on a second. Oop, I don't want that. Hang on, trying to zoom in on the. Yeah, these look like you've got closed loop steppers on these, Chris. Out of curiosity, or are you using servos? Because this is this usually is an indication of one or the other. I like that. That means he's not going to lose position.
He says yes.
Closed loop. Okay, yeah. I love closed loop. I'm going to get a closed loop stepper for the big one when I get a chance. It's considerably more expensive. I mean, it more than doubles your cost, but in the end, you'll never lose a step. You'll never lose a step. It's not needed. Don't make me think. Don't make me. Don't put words in my mouth. And then it's not needed for a home hobby thing, but it's a fantastic luxury item to have. It really is. Yeah, I see he's got the down here. He's got his plugs down here.
Mm-hmm.
Although I personally I like the setup. It wouldn't work for me, and the reason I'm saying that is because 2 words: Diet Coke.
You need some covers over them things.
I would have them mounted sideways. Or I guarantee you there's going to be some motor activity and I'm going to release the magic smoke.
Mm.
But that's just me. Oh, that is beautiful. That is a thing of beauty. Let me take a look at that. Now this is what I like to see. Guys, wait till you I know it's going to be a while, but wait till you see my wiring job. My wiring job on the house for the electrical panel. I'm into electrical wiring porn. And that's I mean, this isn't perfect, but it's damn near. I mean, you don't have this one bending right here at 90 degrees and straight wires and with little, I mean, it's not ridiculously unreasonable like some people do. Some people go all out, but it is fantastically neat. I love the cable management system. It's great. And you got a nice little it's either you're not finished yet or you only needed 1 power supply, so you've got an extra one. I'm not sure what the case is here. But yep, and that's a parallel. Looks like a 4 or 5 axis. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. I lost count already. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like a 4 axis, 5 axis, possibly more. That's nice. That's a nice little setup. And of course the relay for the on off here. Or for whatever you want the relay for. I mean, for the vacuum system, dust control, it could be anything. And router control, spindle control, or looks like I'm guessing by the size of those wires. Oh no, because the wires are over here. Here are the big ones. Here, let me follow them. Okay, so we've got this here. Okay, that would be an outlet. No, that's not. That's a power supply. This power supply is. Let me see what that is. Seeing if I can guess what he's got there. I mean, what the relay is for. See, because my first guess would be with these small cables, it might be for a spindle controller. However, this may be the input side, and the thick cables are the output side. And let's see. I don't see where the black one goes. It's just like vanished. There we go. It's around somewhere. Nope, I don't see it. Might be behind the white one over here. I don't think it leads to this. This is for something else. So it's got to be going down to here. So I'm guessing.
That's all power supply, he said.
Yeah, it's power supply. All right, perfect. So yeah. So anyway, that's a nice. Oops. Shut that down. Okay, so let's go to the next one. That's a gorgeous setup. The next one is Mr.
That's familiar.
Oasis. Mr. Russ Meadows here. Hang on a second. So there's a nice. Whoops, sorry. There's a nice little. That's a Hulk.
That's the Hulk, all right.
That's a Hulk, and he did a great job of painting this thing. I like the torn shirt here is very nice. Nice, good detail.
I cannot stand painting, folks.
And the 8-pack of Nathans are on sale for $3.99. So by all means, get your hot dogs.
I'm gonna use some butcher paper next time. There won't be no ads.
Guy's gonna need a lot of hot dogs and stuff. Oh, and the deli and bakery is. What is this? Publix? No, it's not.
No, it's a local market basket.
Oh, it's Maynard's.
HEB.
Okay, HEB. Well, you know they got good pizza there. It looks like for $5. I don't know how good that pizza is. Tide's at a decent price.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that was done with the scroll saw, but it could very easily have been done with the CNC.
now is this, because I can't tell from here, is this multi-layer?
Yep.
So, so basically, what you did was you cut out everything that's black is cut out.
Yep.
And then basically you took this and you painted it.
Yeah.
And then you glued it,
I glued it to a 1/2-inch backer on the back that I used a washer to go around the outline, and
gotcha.
with an 1/8 inch on either side, roughly. And then I glued it all on.
Sweet. There you go. Yeah, here I can see it. Here I can see it much better. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice and reflective here. Here you can see that it's obviously that there's something back here. This thing is three-dimensionally higher and
right.
And all that.
Yeah, done with a CNC, that would have been knocked out a heck of a lot quicker than it was with the scroll saw.
Yeah.
But it was a project for with the grandson, and I've started him in the shop in scrolling, and he likes it. And so I went ahead and finished it that way instead of doing it with the CNC.
It looks fantastic. And here we go to Mr. of all plain. Oops, sorry, Mr. Rob Schuster. Let me put it this way here. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that drum.
Now that's a drum, and Rob's got look at his sideways CNC machine with. I mean, this is all a home built contraption, which is really freaking fantastic. He's got his little drills there for the parts. Is Rob there here tonight? I didn't see him.
I haven't seen him,
but yeah, that's for the Dia de los Muertos. So by the title there, and that's going to be looking pretty slick when he's through with that. And here is another drum that let me put there. I think that's right side up, and so
that's pretty slick.
That's a chicken, a rooster.
Don't get me the line.
And I have no idea what the scaly stuff is. But I'm drawing a blank. But let me tell you, the wood is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
The burl on that wood is just fantastic. I mean, it's incredible. Oh, it's a dragon. Okay.
I was thinking a dragon, but
Yeah, it's a dragon.
Mako has to leave us.
What's that? Michael's leaving?
Mako.
Oh, Mako. See you later, Mako. So that's let me rotate this. Let's see. No, that doesn't look good either. That doesn't look good either. That looks better. It still looks like a chicken.
Let me answer Marcello's question. I think he was asking about the Hulk.
There it is. Okay, see,
17 inches tall.
You want to see something funny? Okay, now here you could clearly see the mouth. Okay, you clearly see what the Batman scowl on top, the two horns and the possibly a tongue, talons up here. Okay, you see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then obviously his neck. Okay, now check this out. From this angle, this looks like a rooster's head, and this looks like his arm with a wing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so funny. If you ignore the talons here, that's just too funny.
Chris is asking, can I talk about how I finished the Hulk?
Absolutely. Talk away.
Javi has to take a breath before I can jump in. The Hulk is 17 inches tall and 10 inches wide, and it could be made any size that you wanted to make it. It's and it would look good. But the Hulk took me about 3 days to paint it with touch-ups and stuff like that, because it's very difficult getting into those small cracks and crevices in there with a paintbrush.
Let me see if I can hang on a second.
Some of those I even had to use toothpick with paint on it to stick down in there and kind of spread it around. So that's how long it took me. Probably about 3 days of painting, a couple of coats of each color.
Damn in the world. Hang on a second.
Mike said he used to look like that before he got sick, the Hulk. Well, Mike, I've never looked like that. Always wanted to look like that, but never was.
It's a beautiful thing. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to share it.
No, actually, Chris, I did not use masking of any type. I hand painted it. Everything on there was hand painted except the backer board, which I sprayed. All the green, the purple, that where the shirt is, where the ripped up shirt is, that was all. Everything was green at one time. Then I had to go back and paint the pants purple, and then the shirt was actually purple. And then I went back and covered that with one coat of white, kind of makes it look like it's lavender.
Ah, okay. That's where the purple. Yeah. Because the Hulk. I mean, obviously, David Banner is
right.
Is a fashionista, so he's going to be wearing a really nice lavender.
What actually kills me is the fact of when he's David Banner, he has the same waistline as he does when he's the Hulk, but everything else is huge. His pants never busted at the waist.
They always break at the legs, and they never. I mean, I feel so sorry for him. I mean, his groin gets smaller as that's a damn darn shame. Let me ask you something, Russ. The
Thanks,
hair,
Dean. I appreciate it. Chris.
The hair, I mean, there is no solid piece here that's black.
Nope, it's not there.
So okay, so it's completely.
I wish I had actually left it there and I just painted it, but it doesn't matter because you can still see it. That it's solid.
Absolutely. Because the outline of the shape here and the absolutely.
Right. But did you painted every on the top before gluing to? Yes, I did. And after I got it all glued down, my wife says you need to paint that again. As I looked, she said all those little things you could see, all the spots that weren't painted and stuff. So I had to go back in with some small brushes and toothpicks, we dipped in paint to try to get into some of the small areas. And so it took about 3 days.
I believe this is Kevin Wilkerson's shop, if I'm not mistaken, which is freaking gorgeous. It's a beautiful shop.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can see he doesn't do absolutely any woodworking whatsoever.
Not at all. He just has it for show.
Because it's so damn nice looking.
Any respectable woodworker is gonna have dust, and there ain't none.
I see some pieces of dust on the floor and stuff.
Do you? I'm gonna have to get my magnifying glass.
What's that?
I can't see any dust.
Oh, hang on, I'll zoom in for you. Hang on, we got a good see. Yeah, there you go. See the dust?
Oh, look! Hey, you missed some spots, Kevin.
Yeah, a few little pieces there.
Yeah, Chris says that's a CNC museum.
Trip. Powermatic, very nice. Now, see, this is what I'm doing on my shop here. Is hang on, look at that. Look at the size of that monitor. That is what you want to see.
Holy mother of goodness!
Your job with. Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
If what is that, a 37-inch?
If you're going to spend, this is an Avid, I believe, and if you're going to spend about $10,000 on an Avid, you might as well spend an extra $200 for a 32-inch screen, maybe 300.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's ridiculous not to. It's ridiculous not to.
Yeah.
You know,
I like that machine though. It's nice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah, let me go to the next one. Here it is from the other. From another angle. It's a nice machine.
That's an air filter hanging up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. The Powermatic. Yeah, that's an air filter. That's well, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see.
What I like to do with these is I actually like to make a little adaptation. So, it's not always good, but okay, these things have a filter on obviously the intake side, but it's a big filter to catch the dust. It's sometimes I like to add an extra piece here and get a super long pleated filter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or another option is if you want to go cheap, have another again a little extended box and a quick let's say this was 12 by 24, just for the sake of argument. You'd get a standard 12 by 24 filter, AC filter, and just slip it in there.
Yeah.
Because this is a pain to clean.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to take it down. Well, you got to remove this whole filter, and you're going to get dust everywhere. Because anytime so it's, it is not without its drawbacks, but it certainly keeps the whole area dust free. My personal if you're in a shop like this that I'm assuming, well, it's Philadelphia, so if you're in a shop like this, you have to keep it heated, or I'm assuming you keep it heated, and you're basically, you don't want air traveling to the outside. But on nice cool summer days, or when you don't need the AC or the heater on, I would opt for some type of an air system going to, let me see that prior one. Yeah, here it is. Going to the Cyclone, like he has it here.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the beautiful thing is he's got this canister filter.
Yeah.
What I would do is I would pump it straight out if I could. If I have the land, I'd pump the dust straight out the wall, and then you wouldn't have a need, for the most part, for this thing. Not if you have good, this suction will take care of anything so you're not going to have anything flying around. But that's not always the case. You can't always do that because, well, heck, you don't want all the hot air blowing out. And you don't want all the cold air blowing out, depending on where you live.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very similar to what I'm setting up in the shop. I'm going to set up some type of a Cyclone with a canister, but I also want, and for all I know, he might have it also. I don't see it here. I'm also going to have some sort of a diverter where anytime I want to. That way it'll save the life of the filter. It'll save me from having to clean the filter from all this. The filters, I don't mind the big stuff, and the big stuff is easily emptyable right here in the drum underneath. Dump it or burn it, you're done. But that little stuff, you got to either change the whole filter or run the filter. I mean, if this is one of those filters that has the little paddles that drops the dust onto, that's great too. But either way, the smaller the filter, the more it clogs.
Yeah.
And it becomes a pain.
Clyde said even his wires that are plugged into the wall are neat.
Yeah.
They're all lined up nice and neat.
Hang on a second. Why is this? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Yeah.
You can't see him from this angle, but it's on the other wall, the left side.
Yep.
Yeah. He got them all nice and neat. Oh, that's more of a neat freak than I care to be.
No, I completely, I admire and respect him.
I do. I'm just not that guy. I can't do it.
I'm that guy when these things, as they are here, when they're permanent, because these the controllers and the parts and the Avid and stuff, that's not going to move, and he knows it's not going to move.
Yeah. Dwight is asking Kevin, where's the beer fridge? It's not complete without the beer fridge.
Let me see here. No beer fridge here. Shoot. Why does it keep doing that every time I go to the next page? That might be a fridge down here. Anyway, here's a again with I wonder what it's doing here. It takes a second to update, and so anyway, this is a weird clock. So look at this chair. This is gorgeous. I think this is Kevin. Still, it might be Rob, might be somebody else. Hang on, but I think it's Kevin. Yeah, it's. I mean, that's a gorgeous chair. The table, the chair is just beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
I could sit in one of those for a while. Yep, that's still him. Let's look at the shop. Yeah, that's a gorgeous chair.
Look at how long those runners are.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so a fat person like me can't tip back.
Well, I'll tell you what, my grandkids would love to get on that thing and rock back and forth in those long runners.
Oh, the best part is look at how they're laminated. I mean, laminated to an nth degree. Hang on a second. Look at the lamination on those things.
Yeah.
See that? That's not just a design. That's full blown. Look at that. And then he's got this is great the way he did this.
That is neat.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Nice craftsmanship, Kevin. Absolutely fantastic. And here's a serving tray from Mr. Schuster. And I might be duplicating a few of these pictures because some of these were sent to me 2 or 3 times. But there's a nice serving tray. And here's a Rob Schuster, same one that made the drum. He also made this. Let's see what it is. Kelly and something Foster special. It's a wooden wine bottle, apparently. Special reserve, November something or other. This is obviously a couple, Kaylee and something Foster. Let me see. Kaylee and Colin Foster, special reserve, vintage.
Oh, that's probably.
Was it?
I was thinking it might have been when they got married or something.
7th, 2020.
Wow.
That is when I turned 55. So it's on my birthday. That's fantastic. So that's a very recent image here.
Well, it come in second place.
Yep. And here we have, I have no idea whose this is because this might be Chris, maybe. I don't know. Someone's building their CNC. It looks like an Avid. No, that's not an Avid. It looks like a what's the other brand that uses these? Or it might just be a home built. Might very well be an Avid before that. No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, wait a second. Those sliders are interesting. Yep, that's Nope, nothing there. Okay, so yeah, whoever's out there, whose this is, I gotta look through the emails just to see if we get some standard 40 by 40 corrugated. I mean, extruded materials. There's
It's
the
going to be a solid unit, that's for sure.
yeah. There's the serving tray again. And
There's the inlay on there.
is yep. That is a gorgeous inlay. Look at the. It looks like the very similar to the same wood he had for the drum.
Yeah.
And it is. Before I say anything, let me zoom in. Sure enough, this is one piece.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one solid piece. So it's funny because you look at certain pieces, and sometimes you go, hey, that looks great, and sometimes you go, hey, that I don't know, does that look so great? You know,
we have no idea what font that is, folks. I don't think he gave that information. Frankie's just joined us.
Didn't realize Javi was unboxed already. Yep, Javi is unboxed. Let's see, what are we at? Well, we're coming up on the hour, so
yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed all the wonderful photos here for all the folks. And guys, if by any chance you have any questions, let me know. I still got a little bit of time here. I'll be happy to. But yeah, hang on. Let me just scroll through the comments here.
Well, Marcello was saying that that font that Schuster used at the inlay looked like epoxy. If it is, it's pretty blasted good.
It
did to me.
It might be, but knowing him, because
he likes doing inlays. I know that
from the wood that the drum was made out of.
Mm-hmm.
That is some fancy burl wood. So it's very, very similar, if not the same piece of wood. So I really suspect that's solid wood there. But I'll ask him about it. Let's see here.
Thank you, Troy. Appreciate that.
Okay, this is really driving me nuts. The stupid mail keeps popping up. Quit mail. Goodbye, mail. Go away, mail. All right. Here we go. All right. So let's see what we got here. Celebrate. I'm reading way back. I'm at the beginning of the show already. Still, we'll celebrate 37 years on 12/10. Time flies when you're having. Yeah, that's
how long he's been working at FedEx. That's too long.
No, I think he was talking about anniversary.
I don't think so.
37 years in FedEx or 37 years with your wife? Please clarify.
It's FedEx.
Let's see here.
I think.
Okay, I'm copying. Take a look at that. And Mako's 50 and feels 30, and I agree with that. But yep. Mako, well, he left already, but give it a couple years, and all of a sudden he's going to feel like 8.
You were right. 20 years. 20 years FedEx and 37 with the wife. You were right.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, if you count both of mine, I'm right at that.
Yep.
But the first one doesn't count.
There you go. Let's see.
53 years, Clyde. That's awesome.
15 years, 3D and 5-axis. I'm just reading. All right, I'm trying to catch up. Yep.
I don't think we missed any questions. Well, some of them were just talking back and forth amongst themselves.
I'm at 842. Okay, what was this one? That looks like the wife when I tell her.
That was about the Hulk.
I was wondering, what was he referring to there? Good. That's good. I like that one. Yeah, it's a funny thing. My wife, I was June 17th is mine, 2000. And I always remember the year. I'm very good with dates and stuff. My wife, self-admittedly, she says she's not. And that's why both of us had it in great. Well, where is my ring is lying around, so I don't like wearing it around the shop. But the wedding rings each have our wedding date on the inside of the ring. So every now and then she says, "Hey, is it happy anniversary?"
Take a look.
Yeah, she knows. She knows. The thing with her is she's a teacher, so she knows about the time she finishes school is our anniversary. So she says, "Have you made plans?" You know, because I'm usually the ones that make all the plans to get away. And let's see. So it looks like we're on chicken. Yeah, it's funny because that if you look at that dragon one, it's a dragon one way and it's a chicken the other way. I mean, well, let's see. Masking.
Mike said that's his 4x4 home brew machine using 80-20 extrusions.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. That's a nice machine.
Yeah.
Garage Mahal. that's awesome. That's great, David.
Yeah.
It's Kevin's Garage Mahal. I laugh at that. It brings back a lot of memories because I had I'm a bit of a I love camping, but when I was younger, I was a glamping nut.
Right.
I mean, I'll tell you a story before we sign off. I have a I was part of a choir, and it was contemporary Christian music, and all of them were like 5 to 10 years older than me. So, most of them. There was a few younger kids, but for the most part, the average age of the group was about 5 or 10 years older. So, I'm at the tail end of the boomer crowd. I mean, I'm one of those right in between boomers and Gen X or whatever the heck you call it. Born in 65. So if you're born in 60 and before, you're a baby boomer, you know.
Right.
64, 63, whatever. I just missed it.
It's 64, yeah.
But here's the thing. I relate to all of them more than I do anybody else. I mean, I live for I don't know, CCR and Doobie Brothers. I mean, all the old classic songs, classic rock of that time. I mean, the Forrest Gump soundtrack is just absolutely freaking incredible.
Scott Malik has a question.
All right, I'll get to that.
Okay.
So anyway, Jane, one of the directors, one of the leaders of the group, she is, well, we all are a sarcastic bunch. I came in one day, I bought the brand name was Eureka. If you guys know Eureka tents. Now, this Eureka tent, it was a 12 by 12, and you could walk in. It's a 6-foot edge, so you could walk in. You don't have to bend down, and especially me, 5'6", 5'7", and then in the peak it was 7'6", so it would go up. On top of that, the metal structure, you'd have the fly. For those of you that are familiar with tents, the fly on the tent, which is a cover on the top, separated on the tent that prevents the rain from hitting the tent. That thing was huge. But now imagine, if you will, this tent with this fly on it. And it's with this cover on it, and it was kind of pyramidish shaped, but it curved down. It almost looked Taj Mahal shaped. I came in with that tent. I had a rug. I had because I worked in construction, so I got I had a bunch of remnant commercial rug, and I had a van, so I brought it all in the van. We were camping at Mayaca State Park. There was no power. I had power. I had two car batteries, an inverter. Since I played keyboard, and I used my keyboard stand, which had multiple things, one to hold the TV on top and to hold a VCR underneath. I had an Astrovan, so the back seats of the Astrovan could be removed, and I put that in my tent as a couch. All right. Then, of course, I had an air mattress. So I had all this stuff in my 12 by 12. I was the only one in there, so I had plenty of room. They had little hooks on the corners, so I hung pictures of my family. Well, not my family's, well, my parents, because I wasn't, we're talking, I was 18 years old, 18, 20 years old, and pianos, because I was very big with pianos. So pictures of fancy little framed pictures of pianos. Jane peeks inside without missing a beat. She looks inside. I go, someone, hey, go take a look at Javi's tent. Oh, she peeks inside. She looks over. She sees the VCR. She's watching me watch a movie on TV. I'm sitting on the couch and stuff. She just looks, sees the rug, because there was another rug inside the tent. And she sees it without missing a beat. She goes, Javi, where's the ceiling fan? I mean, no reaction whatsoever is, where's the ceiling? I mean, it genuinely has.
You got all the comforts of home.
Well, that year was the first year I had the Taj Mahal, and they all called it the Taj Mahal. So that's that story. I got plenty more stories of that. But anyway, let's see here.
Scott
Malik's got a question, and here, do I know anything about ClearPath servo steppers? No, I'm sorry, I do not. I've never gotten into servos. I mean, I obviously during my electronics years, I know exactly how they operate, but short of that, I don't know specifics about any one particular servo. Clyde was born in 65, married in 67. Wow.
That's what I tell you. He started early.
Yeah. Born in 65, married in 67. Wow, that's so you got a wife of 53 years. That's pretty good. Married at the age of 2. See if I have me 46. Yeah. Oh, 46. Hey, there you go. Oh, you said born in 65. I was, yeah, okay, gotcha.
That's the way I took it. I was just curious.
Dwight, congratulations. Got your Gatton started 3 weeks ago. Again, I've got plenty of hobby boxes if you ever need a controller. And if you need help building your own, by all means, I'm always willing to help. And my lifetime service guarantee is a wonderful plus. Until I die, anyways.
He says he finished it 3 weeks ago. He changed it. So it's done.
Sweet. Yeah, but finishing the Gatton doesn't mean you finished the. Doesn't necessarily mean you finished the controllers also.
Yeah.
Oh man, I am beat. Speaking of which, I just got another batch of orders. I'm up to 115, folks. So by the end of by the 1 year mark, I don't know what I'll be at, but things are going well, and I've got let's see, Mr. Well, he's not here now, but you've heard the name George Rothfuss.
Yeah.
He his is going out probably tomorrow or the day after. I'm personally there's some people, guys, when you're part of a maker community or some of my clients that are sold with salespeople that I have and all that, they're just I crank them out and I pump them out. But if you're part of this community and I see you in the chat rooms and stuff like that, I will on purpose. I will take that original attention to detail, and I will make sure everything is I make sure everything's perfect on all of them, but I'm going to make sure I do every single thing. And because I mean, and I've mentioned this story before. There was a buddy of mine, Walter, who was an air conditioning. He got into air conditioning. He used to do it on his own first. Then he got licensed, and he always attended to my every need for my old AC. Every time I had a repair, yeah, I'll take care of you, Hob. I'll take care of you. And he'd come over and he'd take care of me. I don't expect any special treatment. I expect to pay for the services. but that extra level of attention, I never forgot. And then he reached the point where he was, too big for your britches, as they say. All of a sudden, I call him up and he says, yeah, call the office and set up an appointment. Okay, great. So I called the office. The lady tells me it's $85 an hour for a service call, and then so it's no longer talking to him anymore. Now it's talking to a company.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine for him. I'm very happy that he's very successful in everything, but that no longer works for me. I'm the small mom and pop person. I'm the guy that I want the extra attention. I want the custom attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that story because that's what I promise you I will always give, because this is not a business for me. This is me helping the community. This is not about making money. This is about, you guys have a problem with your CNC 20 years from now, you pay shipping, it'll be back to you good as new. And it's that simple. Any materials it's usually just a wire loose or something. I'll be happy to cover my labor on it and stuff. But like I said, that's why people go with it. It's I'm part of the community and people appreciate that. I appreciate that with other people. And I'm not going to lose that part of it for anything. I have that in my painting business. I have that with my original customers.
Mm-hmm.
With my commercial clients, it's a lot easier because I only have one person to see. I don't have to see a bunch of I have one person to take care of for each of my commercial clients. So I do give them that attention personally, but my guys are the ones there. I'm still overseeing them. But anyway, long story short, I firmly believe in customer service. That's the heart of any, that's the way I want to run my business. I don't want to be a multi-billionaire. I'm good with what I got. I'm happy.
Yes.
Let me see.
He's talking about to help you put onto the community.
Oh yeah, I'm always happy to help. I mean, it's like, look, I spent a lot of time researching, and there are others that will copy my research and duplicate my results, and that's fine. That I have no problem with that. I have no problem with somebody else selling my hard work cheaper and stuff. If people want to buy from them and save $20 or $30 or $50, that's fine. But don't expect me to bend over backwards to help you. If you do so, go to them in 5 or 10 years when they finally figure out whoever, is out, whoever, because in this particular setup in making controllers, if you're not selling them for $1,500 or $2,000, you're not making any money. I guarantee you, because the parts alone are like $500. So, and we're talking the extra $400 in it's all labor. So there is no profit. I'm just getting paid for my time. If somebody wants to make a profit, they're going to have to sell it for an exorbitant amount. And if they're not, they're going to be out of business because they're going to be sick and tired of doing it after a while. Me, this is what I do for you guys. And I tell you straight out, I will bend over backwards to help you guys, but I'm not sacrificing any of my personal time. And I don't. And balance, folks, balance. So let's see here. That's a good question. Subscribe to my channel, and there's a little bell.
I just answered them.
Okay. All right, there you go.
Same thing.
Yeah, there's subscribe to my channel. There's a little bell that goes. So, yeah, I'm happy to help, Dean. I mean, that's the thing. It's like Goebbels, a cage for each stepper. Oh, Goebbels. Running Goebbels and Universal G-Code Sender on Mach 3. Yep. Yep.
He said,
A lot of people
Jarvis?
that do that. I had a tough decision to make. Because especially Ryan's big on the Arduino or the
Raspberry Pi.
Pi, and he's trying to convince me right and left. And the bottom line is the reason I chose the setup I chose was the universal aspect of it.
Way more.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a cam master. I've got a Javi box on this, and I've got a cam master on this, and I just switch it from one to another. That runs the same, runs exactly the same. The way that cam master is built, I've run it just as fast with my Javi box that I have with the MX4660, which is a phenomenal driver setup that they comes with. But it's an $8,000 machine. I expect it to come with a phenomenal driver and stuff. The Javi box will run the motors just fine. You don't want to go. That's why I did all the research. The bare minimum that'll run it fantastic. You go a step or two down, and you got the TB6600s. I burned 3 of them out. I'm not going to be selling those. They're $7 as opposed to $30 each. So times 4, you're saving yourself 23 times 4, 46 times 2 is $92. Ooh, big savings to burn out and have a headache. It is what it is. Anyway, since day one to get no reminders. Now, here's the thing. I normally, now for my regular shows during the week, and when I say regular, this is the weekly professional setup show. During the week, it's just me chatting and either putting together hobby boxes or just talking about, completely nonsensical garbage, or watching me solder for an hour and a half. If you like that for entertainment, you would just want to put that on in the background, by all means, it's the same channel, and you'll see the Chatting with Hobby come up. Saturday nights is a little bit more special and geared toward either CNC or soon building some stuff, whatever. But the regular weekly shows, you will get, again, if you hit the reminder bell, then you should get reminders. I don't know why you're not if you're not. I haven't been getting, I subscribe to Stumpy Nubs, and I get all of his reminders, but I subscribe to a lot of other people, and sometimes I don't get them all. It's the weirdest thing. What I would suggest, though, well, for one thing, set your own reminder. Saturday at 8, I'm always here. As far as all the others, if you ever feel like watching me after the fact and not live, which I know is not as fun, then go to my channel and click on the videos and then lives or whatever, and you'll see all the different videos that I've done. Or go to javi.com. Once you go to javi.com, I have to update that, by the way. You'll see all the different things I've done. Learn CNC with Javi. I've done Make Room for Javi is my big one. I'm going to be, by the way, folks, for those of you that subscribe to me, you're going to be getting notices every now and then. I'm going to be working, hopefully this month and next, on catching up on the last year of video footage that I have to edit to catch up on the javi.com, on the build. So I know a lot of people have been waiting for that. You've been calling for that because it's entertaining. I just, once the hobby box started back in February of this year, I just lost all. Now I got to balance. Now I got more time. And with that, folks, yep, the M542. There's nothing bad. I mean, you can go with the 556s; they're fine. There's nothing different, but the 556s handle a little bit more amperage than the 542s. Well, guess what? The motors we have do not. So what's the point in spending more money? And actually, the 556s are, get this, for anybody that uses DM 556s, they are a newer and cheaper technology. Mind what I say, because just because it's a newer version doesn't mean it's better. They went backward on it, and it's a cheaper. It's like they're using cheaper guts on the inside, and I am not convinced yet. The 542s have been around, and this is one of those things. The CNC is one of those things that it's not changing. This technology has not changed in decades. Well, certainly years, because of the controller, but years, let's say. It is not. It's logic circuits. It's driving digital logic circuits. It's not rocket science. So it's not like we something that people ask me about interference. It's not prone to interference. It's basic voltage, higher than I can go on and on and on. But basically, trust me, as an electrical engineer, when I tell you this is the way to go with this setup, unless you want to pay double or triple the cost and get a higher setup, which will do the same exact thing. In the case of the Avid, that is a much rock solid and better built machine. So you can run the thing faster. So you can put bigger motors at 34s and run them. I wouldn't recommend my Javi box for that. Oh, I could easily make a custom one and be bigger and stuff, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it for me to do that. You can do that yourself and then put in bigger drivers, 856s, and that'll handle NEMA 34s with no problem. The Javi box will handle a NEMA 34 at 269 ounce or up to about 300 ounce inch. Anything more than that, So anyway, there's that. So folks, have a nice evening. I know you guys are all dying to get out of here. So I always try to keep it to 9, and lately I've been just so I got to see next week. I'll do it at 9 o'clock. Guys, 8 to 9 every Saturday. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. And I will not be having a show on the 26th, I want to say. Let me see when the date, that's Saturday, the 26th of December. I will not have a show. Other than that, I'll be on every week, and because I'm on, I want to say sabbatical. Call it sabbatical. I'm on vacation. All right, so guys, good night all, and let's do our little waves here. So good night, everybody.